Welcome back, guys. Today we are out here with the cab over doing a sound system in it. Finally, we're staying at my buddy Kyle's house for the next week or so. And we've got 440 back out here. If you guys remember him, he's the one that did the CB in our truck, and he is doing the sound system in it too. So he is mobile today, guys. He's got everything laid out here. Right now we're hooking up the battery wires, fuse block, all kinds of stuff. We've got our DS18 sound system, our subwoofers, all kinds of stuff. And the weakest man in Tennessee, old muscle shirt we got going on here.
Yeah, we're just hooking up an inline fuse because that's a full coverage insurance policy that you don't have to worry about your truck burning down. The fuse will simply blow. And we're also running the wire inside a wire loom and doing it the best we can without it taking hundreds of hours, because you can get really in-depth and involved in this stuff, but we're gonna make sure it's top shelf.
Cool. So we've got a sealed box here for our tins, guys. These are shallow mount, so in the future, if we blow these or want to go something bigger, we can. Got a little bit of a deep box here. And we've got some fiberglass pods I had made by a friend of mine, Bubba Brewer, down in Florida. We're gonna be mounting these inside the cab also. Got tweeters, all kinds of cool stuff going on. So up next, guys, I'm gonna go over with you what model and part numbers we're gonna be using for the sound system and all that good stuff. First things first, which is the most important, I think, is the subwoofers. We're running a 10-inch DS18 shallow mount, 1,000-watt max, SW10S4 is the model. Let's see if we got some data on here. There you go, guys. 4-layer voice coil, 500-watt RMS power, 1,000 watts max power. Now we're gonna go over the, what else we got here? So there's the subs. Some trash anyway. Up next, the truck actually only has factory 4-inch speakers in it from the factory, so we're replacing those with a 4-inch mid-range loudspeaker with a aluminum billet in here. They are pretty stout. We haven't got the old ones out yet, but these things are pretty serious. So that's what's going in to replace the factory ones that are in there now. They're 4 ohms, 200-watt max. Then we've also got tweeters we're putting in there. The truck doesn't have any tweeters. We wanted to turn it up a little bit. These are 4 ohms, 240-watt peak, 120-watt programmable. So there's our tweeters. You guys do notice we've got 6.5-inch fiberglass pods, like I mentioned a couple seconds ago. Those are going in there. We've also got a DS18 EXL SQ1000 amplifier right here. This one right here is going to run basically just the subwoofer only. So we have a 1,000-watt amp to run the subwoofer. And then we've got a 4-channel amp right here, which is going to run all the speakers in the truck, the 4-inch speakers and the 6.5s that are in there also. And this is an 1,800-watt amp, which is going to go in there. So you see right there, it specifies front and rear. I'm going to break out the 6.5s now. Well, those will look good with those pods.
Yeah, these are really nice speakers.
Yeah, so right there is the speaker, guys. We're actually going to be putting the cover on it, just like that, and that'll be revealed back there in the back of the cab. So that's what's going on there. And these are a 6.5-inch 3-way speaker, coaxial. I don't know much about speakers and sound stuff, guys, so don't rail me too hard in the comments, but they're 50-watt RMS, 150-watt max power. And like I said before on one of the other videos, I know this isn't the best stuff money can buy, but we're not looking for the best stuff money can buy. I just want some stuff that'll sound a lot better than the factory little itty-bitty 4-inch speakers that are in there now.
Absolutely will.
So it should make a really, really big difference. Well, guys, 440 got the entire sound system finished in the cab over. As you can see, we're back up here at Fitzgerald's Fab Shop, and we're gonna be doing some other stuff to the cab over today, along with putting the visor on it. We've got a brand new fifth wheel. We're gonna be making some custom brackets for all kinds of cool stuff. So right quick, we'll go check out the sound system in the truck right quick, then we're gonna go over all the other things we've got in store for today's video. So now we're inside the truck, guys. I told you we were putting a sound system in here. We've got two brand new 6.5 DS18s from the ceiling. We got our 212s in the sub box over here. Everything is completely mounted up and done in here, from our TV being mounted to our little tiny fridge that works very well. We've got power outlets on both sides of the fridge. Took the sheet off because we had to clean it from us moving around in here and installing all this good stuff. We do have 2 tweeters to go in here also, so we got to finish some of the sound system, but that'll be for another day. This made a huge difference in what we already had. So let's hop out and check out our new sun visor for the front, the windshield visor. What's that?
It's not urine on the bed. Everybody always says it's urine.
Oh yeah, look, let me show them. See how yellow it is? Turn it off. Well, it's just a reflection from this stuff.
It's over here too.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, let's hop out. We'll show them the visor and show them the new fifth wheel. So we're back here in the back of my buddy Brian's truck that works up here at Fitzgerald. He's kind of like their main manager, social media guy. We've got a brand new Joust sliding fifth wheel. It is a 36-inch slider we're gonna be putting on the truck. The rails that they had with it are not going to work, so we're actually gonna be custom building some on their laser table. We'll get into that here in just a second, but this is a brand new, very wide setup, low profile Joust slider fifth wheel. Super pumped about this baby.
I didn't know you were getting me one of those.
All right, guys, so we're gonna walk in here to the office. This is Mr. Rob with Fitzgerald.
Okay.
Okay, so he's working on designing his plates to adapt the outboard fifth wheel to the frame, and this is some special hardened steel you mentioned earlier. It's not just regular steel stock.
Yeah, so we'll have to go with a little bit higher strength because it is holding a fifth wheel. You don't want to use, like, say, an A36 unless you use something that's pretty thick.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what we're looking at. We gotta figure out the whole pattern on the side and what we're gonna do here to make some clearance for your hangers and whatnot.
All right, so once you design all that on here, you'll send that over to the laser table, and that'll just boom, cut all the holes out for us.
Yeah, so Blake, he's getting the steel ready now. Once I get this designed, we'll turn it into a DXF file, and then we'll take it over to the laser and cut it out and bend it, and we should be ready to go.
Cool, can't wait to see that happen. All right, guys, the biggest thing we gotta do is get this old fifth wheel off so we can map out those other bolt holes for the outer frame rails. That's what we're gonna do now. Guys, I decided to make a drastic change to the cab over. I pulled off the cab flares, and we are planning on painting this thing very soon in the future. But in order to make our plates fit on the back here with fifth wheel, they have to come up another about 8 to 10 inches. So that would mean we'd have to cut our bed plate we've got back here. But instead of cutting it, I've been wanting to pull the cab flares off because I think it makes them look better on these trucks and makes them look longer and more like old school. We're going to trim the exhaust on it some and actually slide the entire headache rack forward about 10 inches and take up that gap right there. And then in turn, we can slide that bed plate forward and get a lot done. So that's what we're going to do. I'm gonna get the exhaust pulled off right quick in just a second and make a quick cut in it and slide everything forward. Also, we're gonna mount the train horns right here to the bed plate. So that'll look a little bit different too. Should look pretty cool. Anyways, guys, we got Rob over here, and he's helping me line the headache rack up. We moved it forward about 8.5 inches total, closer to the back of the cab, after we moved the cab flares to the side of it. And we're just getting it square on the frame before we slide the deck plate all the way forward, and we mount the rails back on the back of the truck. We should be getting ready. He's already measured the holes right here for the frame, and we're gonna punch all the holes out on the pieces of metal we're gonna put on there, so we have zero drilling to do. Everything should bolt right up, so that'll work out perfect. We'll slide this deck plate back. That's what you guys call this thing, right? A deck plate?
It's a deck plate.
And slide it all the way back forward and tighten it down. So no cutting involved, hopefully. Other than the exhaust, I had to come up a little bit, so not a big deal. It's close enough from your house, huh? okay services. It says to unbolt the factory one, obviously, and remove the factory mounts. That's what we're doing now. So if you're on top of the cab, guys, we had to, I had to take a grinder and remove the factory visor mounts, and they're kind of riveted on there with a little rivet. But right now, we're kind of removing those and knocking them down for the time being. We're not going to completely grind them down. We're going to be painting the truck very, very soon, but I want to get this visor mounted. So what we're going to do is go ahead and mount the visor. We're not going to grind these down completely flat, and we're going to do that when we go to paint the truck, so we're not damaging anything else right now, because these things are still in there very good and sealed up. So we're going to walk over now. Before I get started on putting the visor on, Rob is ready to go ahead and start cutting out the metal for the fifth wheel adapter, so we'll go do that. So Rob's got a template cut out that they cut out on the laser table of a thin piece of metal just to see if we got the bolt holes where they need to be. And we noticed we're going to have to make an adjustment right there for the spring hanger and maybe elongate some of these holes. I'm not sure yet, but we'll know after we make that adjustment there what exactly we're going to have to do. So what they're doing now is they're putting this big piece of hardened steel on the table here. They're getting it lined up into place. You can see these pieces right here that align everything up before it goes up inside of the laser in there. And yeah, that's what's happening. So, should be pretty cool. So what we just did, guys, is he got everything set up on the computer here, and then you save the file to a USB stick. Then you come over here to the laser, insert it in this computer, and tell it what to do. And so the metal's already inside there?
Yeah, we're actually using 130.
Okay. So now you guys just saw we got the outer rails lined up on the frame. We've got shoulder bolts on the inside and on the outside. We painted the inside of the frame there. Everything's ready to rock. We're gonna get these loosely mounted up on both sides, and we're gonna take these flat pieces of rail that we were going to use, but it didn't work, and clamp it all up into place, get it nice and flat, and then get the fifth wheel set on here. Everything should bolt right in. Work perfect. So what we've done now, guys, take the old plates across here with some clamps and bring them up to level with the bottom of the frame. We're going to tighten them all down and then set the fifth wheel on here. Send it, old son. And now the biggest piece of the puzzle is our new Joust fifth wheel. Joust? Well, you said Joust. I'm going off.
I mean, listen, I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know shit.
I'm gonna record that next time you think you know something.
You mean
Don't scratch the paint. Don't scratch the paint. You just set it down.
This thing's super heavy.
Is that a fiberglass air cylinder? What the heck? That air cylinder is made out of fiberglass. That is nuts. Huh. Fifth wheel 100% bolted down with a lot of bolts. How many on here? Like 26 total? Just on the frame.
Oh, the frame.
So we got like 14 on each side holding the fifth wheel mounts to the frame, which is pulling everything together. Because you guys know this thing's been stretched right back right here. So that's also more clamping power. And we got 28 bolts total holding the fifth wheel down to the frame of the truck. So this is a Joust or Joust. Maybe you guys, I don't know, well, you guys can't really tell me how to say it in the comments. I don't know. But it's a sliding fifth wheel, 36-inch slider. So this makes a huge difference for any of our future videos we want to do with distributing the weight where it needs to go on the truck. And it just looks 100 times better having a sliding fifth wheel in the back. So the next video, we're back out working on the cab over. It'll be Friday, guys. We're gonna be trimming up the bed plate right here and making it fit back between the headache rack and our new fifth wheel slider. And then we're gonna be finished installing our drop visor. I don't know if I got to show you guys this or not, but right here is our visor. That'll be going on the front of the truck. I did get all the factory mounts removed from the front, so that's all taken care of. So shout out to FCR Fabrication for helping us design and laser cut and bend all of these amazing brackets to make the sliding fifth wheel work. The reason we had a lot of issues with this truck is because it has a 33.5-inch frame, not a 34-inch frame, like most of the trucks, literally every other truck on the road, the newer style stuff like that. So we had to custom build those plates to mount the sliding fifth wheel to that. So like I said, shout out to FCR Fab for helping arrange all this, get everything done in Fitzgerlad USA. So you guys have got to go to their Instagram page. We got to get them 10,000 followers. And Brian is actually in the middle of releasing a brand new video on Fitzgerlad USA's YouTube channel. So go check that out when it comes out, guys. But like I said, we'll be back here Friday, getting the bed plate put back on here, getting some stuff kind of buttoned up on the cab. There are these brackets and stuff right up here that I want to remove from the cab. We're going to put some pop rivets back in there and getting the drop visor put on, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Comment down below if you like his glasses.
Like and subscribe.
New shades.
What?
Got your new shades.